Good morning, everybody. How you guys doing? Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while. I was really trying to be very thoughtful about what I want to share on this platform. But this morning, I wanted to talk about 5 things that people do to single women that they should really stop. I think people do it to men too, but it's neither here nor there. So, number one, they try to convince you that there is something wrong with you. So, have you ever had this happen to you where you meet someone in a social context, you're having a conversation, the conversation gets to the point where they start asking you about your personal life? Are you married? Do you have children? That kind of thing. And when you say no, you're not married or you don't have children, you get some response like, "Oh, but you are such a pretty girl. What's wrong with you?" And that is hilarious that people think that something has to be wrong with you for you to be single, but stop doing this. Thing number two, they try to convince you that you are too picky. So the conversation usually spirals down to now that the person has decided that you have a disease, they want to diagnose the source of that disease, right? And so people want to tell you or convince you that you are too picky. So, and this usually happens when people think that you're accomplished and that's the reason why you are single. So they tell you, oh, there's so many good men around. Do you think that you are too picky when it comes to men? Or another way that people do this is an underhanded way, but they do it nonetheless, is when they tell you, oh, you wouldn't want such and such a person because they don't have these credentials or they don't have this status. And I think what people want to do there is for you to tell them, oh, yeah, I have very high standards so that they could trap you in the, see, you're too picky. People should stop doing this. Thirdly, they try to convince you that you are sad. This one is really, really weird for me because a lot of times people find you in this happy state. Every time they see you, you're up, you're upbeat, you're um, doing something, you're accomplishing something, you're focused on purpose, and people want you to admit that you are actually sad. And I have no idea why people would do this. I think, and I might talk about it in another video, I think people are very convinced that happiness or sadness is dependent on external factors. It's dependent on what you've accomplished, whether or not you're living up to societal standards, that kind of thing. So if they feel like you have not accomplished or somehow you're not living up to whatever society expects, they expect that you should be sad. But happiness or sadness is not necessarily dependent on these things. The Bible says that a man's life does not consist in the abundance of things he has. So if you have things, if you've accomplished things, that doesn't say that you're happy or sad. So stop trying to convince single people that they are sad or they should be. Um, Fourth, they try to pity you. This happens all the time where um, people find out that you're single and they go, oh, I'm going to pray for you. They want to pity you. And I realize that it doesn't matter what else is happening in your life. If people find out that you are single, they think that you're pitiable. And uh, fifth, it's not really a thing that I wish people would stop do. It's a consequence of these things that people do. I think that when people do these things, they put social pressure on people, and the social pressure sometimes causes people to act desperate. And that's a double-edged sword because people try to convince you that you should be sad or all these things, and then it creates this desperation, and then they despise the desperation and they ridicule you because you are desperate. And so hopefully this was a short enough video, but I want to encourage those of you who are surrounding or have single people in your life, please don't do these things to them. Everybody's journey is different. And if you are single, please um, have your identity solidified in such a way that you do not allow people to tell you how you actually feel. You should know how you feel. So, hopefully, I'll see you all really soon in another video. Have a wonderful day.